No one has identified in this case, and I don't think we've heard it in the argument from my friend, any legitimate difference between married gay couples on the one hand and straight married couples on the other that can possibly explain the sweeping, undifferentiated, and categorical discrimination of DOMA, Section 3 of DOMA. And no one has identified any legitimate federal interest that is being served by Congress's decision for the first time in our nation's history to undermine the determinations of the sovereign states with respect to eligibility for marriage. I would respectfully contend that this is because there is none. Rather, as the title of the statute makes clear, DOMA was enacted to defend against the marriages of gay people. This discriminatory purpose was rooted in moral disapproval, as Justice Kagan pointed out.
What do you think of the argument that I heard was, to put the other side, at least one part of it, as I understand it, said, look, the federal government needs a uniform rule. There has been this uniform one man, one woman rule for several hundred years or whatever, and there's a revolution going on in the states. We either adopt the revolution, or push it along a little, or we stay out of it. And I think Mr. Clement was saying, well, we've decided to stay out of it. And the way to stay out of it is to go with the traditional thing. I mean, that's an argument. So your answer to that argument is what?
I think it's an incorrect argument, Justice Breyer, for this reason.
I understand you do. I'd like to know the reason.
Of course. Congress did not stay out of it. Section 3 of DOMA is not staying out of it. Section 3 of DOMA is stopping the recognition by the federal government of couples who are already married solely based on their sexual orientation. And what it's doing is undermining, as you can see in the briefs of the states of New York and others, it's undermining the policy decisions made by those states that have permitted gay couples to marry. States that have already resolved the cultural, the political, the moral, whatever other controversies they're resolved in those states. And by fencing those couples up, couples who are already married, and treating them as unmarried for purposes of federal law, you're not taking it one step at a time, you're not promoting caution, you're putting a stop button on it, and you're having discrimination for the first time in our country's history against a class of married couples.
Discrimination